In this video, we're going to do a sheep brain dissection, and I will point out a variety of external and internal brain structures. Let's start with the meninges. The meningeal layers are three layers that protect the brain. They're the dura mater, the arachnoid mater, and the pia mater. This brain, the meninges have mostly been removed already, but you can still find some remnants on the bottom. So these little flaps that look kind of like skin are the connective tissue that makes up the meninges. Here we have a dorsal view of the brain, and this is the ventral view. You can find the spinal cord at the very bottom of the brain, and directly above it is the brainstem. So that includes the medulla and the pons. At the top of the brain, we have the cerebrum and the cerebellum. The cerebrum and the cerebellum are divided by the transverse fissure right here. You can see it's quite a large gap. The left and right hemispheres are divided by the longitudinal fissure. The cerebrum has a bunch of wrinkles on it, and the bumpy parts of the wrinkles are called the gyrus, or gyri if it's plural, and the little gaps in between, the little valleys, are called the sulcus, or sulci in plural. On this brain you can also see tiny blood vessels that give nutrients to the brain. The cerebrum is divided into 4 lobes. The frontal lobes are in the front, parietal lobes are at the top, occipital lobes are at the back, and the temporal lobes are on either side, near the temples and the ears. If you turn the brain to the ventral side, you can see the part that has the optic chiasm. So the optic nerve has already been removed, it's been cut off. Directly behind the optic chiasm, you can see this structure, which is the pituitary gland. In the front part of the brain, you can see 2 flaps right here, which are the olfactory bulbs. The olfactory bulbs are quite large on the sheep brain in proportion to the rest of the brain, but in the human, the olfactory bulbs would be much, much smaller. You can also find some cranial nerves along the edge of the brainstem, but they can be quite difficult to find because they are very small. So here's one example. And then on the other side, we have another cranial nerve right here. You can also find some additional meninges when you try to separate the cerebellum from the cerebrum. You can see these meningeal layers right here. You should cut the brain in half using the longitudinal fissure. Try to make a clean cut all the way through so that you can see the internal structures better. Notice on this brain, the meninges and the pituitary gland have fallen off, along with some cranial nerves. Now we can see the internal structures of the brain. Notice that there's a very light-colored part. All of the light-colored parts are called white matter, and they are made up of the myelinated axons that are part of the neurons in the brain. The darker layers are called gray matter, and those are the soma bodies as well as the dendrites. It's really clear here with the cerebellum. You can see the very thin tree-like structures of the white matter and the dark matter, gray matter, sorry. And this is actually called arbor vitae. If you gently open the brain, you'll see some gaps. Those gaps are called ventricles. and the ventricles would be filled with cerebrospinal fluid in a living brain. You also see this very large white structure. That's the corpus callosum, which connects the left and the right sides, and it allows the axons from the left and the right sides to connect to the other side of the brain and communicate. Below the ventricle, you have this large central structure. That's the thalamus, and then directly below that is the hypothalamus, which used to be connected to the pituitary gland, which we just removed. And then behind the thalamus, you find this structure. That's the pineal gland. You can also create a frontal cut for the very beginning portion, the frontal lobe. So a small frontal cut. And now you can see this ventricle right here. It's a little bit easier to see on this side. There's a tiny gap. That's the ventricle, as well as the clear distinction between the white matter and the gray matter.